podcast today. Have you ever felt like you didn't want to go on camera because you felt nervous? Now, there's all types of nervousness that people feel. And I might say, well, there are a couple techniques that you can do, but I'm going to teach you the 5 by 5 by 5 method, which is super fun to remember because it's easy. And it's also very, that's the word I'm looking for. It works, right? That's what we want, right? We want it to work. But we also need it to be easy to remember, because then you'd be like, what did Rose say? So this is the 5 by 5 by 5 technique. And I could say too, remember to stop and smell the roses. Oh, look at this one. See, I have one in my hair, as I'm sure you already saw, but well, this one doesn't smell. It has no smell at all. So let's talk about this 5 by 5 by 5 method. I'm here in South Carolina today because I'm still on what we call vacation, disconnecting from a lot of different things, but obviously not my phone. So my name is Rose Cayazzo, and people are sitting in the spot that I was going to sit and talk to you at. This is what happens when you pre-plan a live and it doesn't actually happen. So we got to find a new place to talk, because it's not going to be that table. So, my name's Rose, and I'm also known as Jackson Hole Rose. And I do a lot of things, but one of the things that I do very well is I teach women how to actually be on camera, but do it in a way that's very authentic, very open, no scripts, no fluff, no filters, right? Because my thing is, I don't like filters. I just want it to be real, right? So here I am being real. I think there's a spot of sun I can sit here. No. Okay. How are we going to get this right? Well, we'll just have to, maybe we can spin around here. It'll be a better view. But now we're going to hear a lot of cars, because my original thing was not for 5 seconds. So you breathe in for 5, you hold it for 5, and then you release for 5. And you do it 5 times. And literally, it does something to your brain. Let's try to get this arranged, huh? Like I'm holding this camera. Gosh. I know I'd rather not hold the camera. And I know this is terrible that I'm doing this, because I should have my selfie stick, but I don't have it today because I'm on vacation. And originally I thought it was a bunch of bunk too. It was like 5 by 5 by 5. But when you start to do it, it really takes a moment for you to start to relax with the first, and then the second comes, and after the 5th, you feel fully relaxed. So it actually does something for your brain that allows you to focus. A lot of women say to me, well, I get too nervous, I can't do that, or that's not for me. Sometimes these breathing techniques, as much as you might poo-poo them, I know this because I've done it, but they actually work. So if you take the time, if you're like, okay, I want to do a live, I know what I want to talk about, it does not need to be long at all. In fact, 90 seconds is really like the meat of video if you want to get to that. But if you're doing a live, it's a little bit different, right? Because you have people that are interested in what you have to say, and maybe you need to teach something. So the 5 by 5 by 5 method is one that actually works. So I would encourage you to try it before you go on camera. Because remember, when we're on camera, we need to focus on the dot, because that is where the audience is. So it's not just looking at the dot and talking to it, but it's actually speaking to the person who's behind the dot. So for me, it's typically women that have been in business a long time, that, like myself, well, I wouldn't say it's a long time, but I have been in business for 17 years, and they already know that putting themselves on as the face of their business is the next step in showing the world that they know their stuff. There's not much that you can do better than a picture and a fun story than an actual video where people see you speak. So, there's a ton of things to work on when you think about going live or just doing video in general. So I would say, if you're feeling nervous, try this 5 by 5 by 5 technique. And again, that's breathing in for 5, that's holding for 5, and that's letting out the breath for 5. And you must do it 5 times, otherwise you don't feel the benefit of relaxation. And I did have someone teach me this. I thought it was a bunch of bunk. Then I started doing it and I was like, whoa, this actually really does work. Okay, so that is your tip for today, and I'm gonna go enjoy myself since I mentioned I'm on vacation. And I kind of like this little rose in my hair. Also, just to remember, don't forget to stop and smell the roses, because life is too short to worry about the little things. And of course, as you know, I say F perfect. And you need to stand out by streaming live in a world of AI, because we are in this AI world. People are not sure what is real, what is not. So standing out by live streaming in the AI age is actually your thumbprint. Boom. And you know where I'm going with this, right? Right to that darn X that YouTube refuses to get rid of on the left-hand side. Alrighty then. See y'all later.